And welcome to the AEW Dynamite preview. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to look ahead to tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, the go-home show ahead of AEW Dynasty.
Yeah. Right. Justified here, right?
Justified conditional air.
Look, I think given AEW's very, very good form in 2025, Dynasty feels a little bit stopgappy. I don't think it needs to exist. I think if you look at the lineup, I've got two problems with AEW this week. Two problems, and they're pretty big problems for me. One, there's a Cope singles match on Dynamite, and I'm just not arsed about that in the slightest. Can I have Cash Wheeler versus Pac? If we're going to preview the trios match, Cash Wheeler versus Pac sounds like a real good time to me. That's like one of the better matches you could do out of the various permutations in that trios match. Secondly, things could all change tonight. You'll always have that Pac versus Orange Cassidy at Revolution 2020, that late edition, and it's an AEW pay-per-view. Like, trust me to be the only person miserable about it. If you look at that lineup, I think there are 6 matches announced thus far. And again, everything could change. You could get something tonight where you're like, really, really hyped for this. Because Tony Khan, if nothing else, has always got an unbelievable match graphic drop in him. I'm fairly certain there's 6 matches. 3 of them are like Collision. Collision influence on Dynasty is a little bit, because it is tricky. It's going to be of a good standard. It's just nothing particularly inspiring. Like Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia, the final match in that trilogy. No time limit. That's threatening a long time. That is threatening a long time. The trios match, FTR, it's, a lot of that has been built on Collision. And there's one more that just feels,
Probably Death Riders FTR. Rated FTR. I think it's the only other one that's... Oh, Bandito, yeah.
Yeah, Bandito Jericho. Which, I reckon, I think that's been well built. I think that's been well built, but it is very much, it just doesn't feel particularly important, Dynasty, and that is a byproduct of Collision not feeling particularly important. So, I don't know, I feel like there's a drab quality to this upcoming pay-per-view, which feels stopgappy, which, it's going to be good. It's just hard to get really enthused about.
Well, shall we exclusively reveal now the extra match that's about to be added?
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
What match is about to be added to AEW Dynasty? One wrestler each.
Let's do it. Pro Evo for each.
Yeah.
Pro Evo rules.
Sid, you want to start us off?
Some of the best times of my life playing that.
Ain't never coming back.
Nah. Stop.
Picking on between 1 and 15.
4.
Ortiz.
Nope.
Okay.
He's injured.
That doesn't count then.
Nice.
Stop.
1 to 15.
14.
Taking off the suit. MVP.
Nah.
Okay.
Twist. Stop.
1 to 15.
7.
Already working the show. It's Cope.
6.
Doesn't count.
Never in a million years. 6. Imagine him going double duty. Jesus Christ.
Colton Gunn.
No, I'm sticking to the last one. I like Colton Gunn. I like him, but it's not exactly Stop.
Which one of 15?
4, mate.
Already working the show. It's Bandito.
Okay, 5, mate.
Big Bill.
He's working the show. He's going to have the tag match. 6.
Billy Gunn. Over to you, Michael. Michael Hamflett, who's Billy Gunn going to face?
Love this game, man. Stop.
1 to 15.
6.
Oh.
Lee Moriarty. So,
Twist.
okay.
Stop.
1 to 15.
6.
Well, it's a big show.
Yeah. Shoguns explode. Yes, please. Invasion was 24 years ago, and I've been waiting for the more. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Oh, great.
Billy Gunn versus Paul White. Tick.
You're welcome, Tony. How you feeling about Dynasty at the Licky Race?
Is it the Licky Race?
Keep forgetting it's at the Licky Race.
We're going to actually probably preview this show on Friday,
Yeah.
maybe. So I will reserve some positivity, so you have to stick around.
Same message. We were just talking before we recorded. I was like, I'm watching AEW. I bloody love it. And it's just like, do you love it? And I was like, you're right. I like it a lot. Like, I do. I like, it comes off the back of a Raw. And I said with WWE of late, I'm starting to like the world less. And that's a huge thing. Really hard to get that back. AEW, we're getting it back. There is a weird disconnect between that and the feelings I get on a Wednesday daytime when we tend to preview these Dynamites almost every Thursday. Glowing praise. Like, I still think it is, and I can't work out what it is. I always feel like it's whenever Paige and Swerve come on screen together like they did last week, there's this like one like spark, that one crackle that isn't there yet, that one like 1997 Steve Austin where it's just that something is invincible. Something is so amazing or bubbling under amazing that everything's really good. When that one goes off, like I still feel like it's them two and nothing else yet. But the more you continue to book and the more you show consistency and patience, all this like good practice stuff, best practice really, something will be that. It just hasn't quite revealed itself yet. Might even be like Kenny, the singles champion, if those matches continue to like show a bit more of him as this like stories telling of like the guy that's come back from injury and that like there's a little bit of shucks followed by a little bit of best spot machine under there.
Yeah.
Like, it could be that. I don't know what it is, but, like, it's not excitement that I feel for these Dynamites and for these cards typically, but then every week, there's sort of, like, we talk about this trios match. It's nightmare fuel as a graphic, and to think about this FTR and Death Riders thing. I absolutely love the story. Like, it's playing out in the exact way I would want it to, that they've created a perfect middleman in Cash with totally justifiable motivations to pick both sides. He cannot part ways with Dax over anything. It's FTR. But homeless and in need and Cope's the guy. Like, that turn's going to be hard. He's going to pick Dax. That's going to be heartbreaking. The match is a legitimate dream match, FTR versus Cope and Christian, which is presumably where that goes. And it's all off the back of very logical and detailed plotting from Cope's failure to win the belt. Like, I love this. They're going to do loads of Brett and Owen tribute stuff because they're all Brett guys, Canada guys, you know. I think there's lots to be excited about in a match that's boring as like, get that out of the way. They're really on to something. But there's loads of that in AEW. Like, every week, I'm saying at Decision, I think you're right to be a bit more, not pessimistic, but cautious.
Conservative.
Yeah. The zones are crumbling. Like, all over the card, the zones are finally crumbling. The overlaps are becoming more apparent. MVP and the Hurt Syndicate was a thing that couldn't have possibly existed a few months ago because you don't live there.
MJF, sorry.
Sorry, MJF, yeah. Like, you have to work with so-and-so. You are in a feud with him, and then you might move on to that, and maybe you'll be the title. And that just doesn't involve the Hurt Syndicate. They're in the Hurt Syndicate zone. Like, all over the show, the zones are eroding. Like, the women have main evented twice in 2 weeks, you know, and might get a third because the story has been platformed as this big deal. Is Toni Storm, like, is Megan Bayne going to kind of shock the world, but you can't call it an upset because she's monster in her, and she's going to be, you know what I mean? Like, there's loads to, it's not excitement, is it? There's loads to be cautiously optimistic about. Good for AEW.
Not an asshole.
Well, let's start with
The show like apparently. Can't say nice things about your TV shows.
Let's start with the mixed tornado tag match. This could be the final week of the Death Riders on top. We live in hope. John Moxley and Marina Shafir versus Swerve and Willow.
I have really high expectations for this, and just to address it straight out of the gate, There are 1.5 women's matches on TV tonight. Not two. Or, my God, imagine 3. It's never going to happen in a million years. But 1.5 ain't 2. So the game
That's
will...
the Meatloaf song.
Yeah. Everyone knows that. So Ladies' Night will continue unabated. This match, however, I've got really high hopes for. I reckon, like, you know when WWE will do a celebrity match because it behooves them to position the celebrity in like a really strong way that will get practice, that will get a lot of creative time and resource to make sure every little thing goes right, as opposed to, you know, Seth Rollins versus whoever. It's like, I mean, they can just do that in the days ahead, you know. Mm-hmm. I suspect, given the sheer A, time and investment they've placed in Marina Shafir, B, the like extent to which Jon Moxley raves about her, the fact that they've implemented this tornado stip where she doesn't have to be exposed by wrestling for too long in the ring. I've just got a feeling that they have dedicated a lot of thought and a lot of time into various set pieces all around the arena in this tornado tag that are going to make her look really, really cool. And she really has emerged from this debacle that is the Death Rider storyline with a degree of credit. She looks cool. She's very much been profiled. She has this aura of she could kick somebody's ass. There's like a China element to it where you can believe it when she starts to go for someone. Obviously, the legitimate background and MMA, if not quite UFC, helps. What was she like in UFC?
I don't know. I'll look up her MMA.
So I'm not an MMA guy at all, but whatever. So I really think that they are going to be super careful. And there's another bit of like potential theoretical hype for this. AEW booked Sting. And I'm not saying Marina Shafir's Sting, but there's sort of a link here, and I'll get to it. They booked Sting to look like this ageless, mythical icon. The paint helped, but the way in which those matches were booked and arranged, and they've got so many creative people backstage to sort of like Jerry Lynn, you know, he's apparently like really good at what he does. They did smoke and mirrors to a perfection. Sting for the longest time. They know how to book these matches. They're laden with shortcuts to create those big badass action set pieces. So they know what they're doing in this realm, in this field. They've put a lot into Marina Shafir. I've just got the feeling this is going to have a lot of like really, really, really cool like MP4 clips, visuals. Like the highlight reel for this is going to look amazing. I think this is going to be great. And another thing, see, I am excited after all. I think they've got such good ideas for this match that it almost justifies, right, okay, well, there's not been much build. They've had one verbal face-to-face interaction. I just think that they're onto a winner and they know it with this.
Yeah, it's
I've
Swerve.
got the best feeling about it, you know?
Not a great MMA record, 1 and 2, but I just discovered that her nickname was the Supernova from Moldova, which is
that's good.
Great.
That's
good. But do you think she does something to Swerve in this match with the tornado rules being as they are?
Yeah, I would say
I'd like that, yeah.
I would say so. Just when it looks like Swerve's going to be on the come up.
God, Willow pouncing Mox. Proper Jack Perry's it across the ring for it. You know? Really gets it over.
Nah, I've just got this feeling they know they are onto a winner with this.
I think the atmosphere in the building is going to be amazing for this.
Yeah. Speaking of what is the building,
it's got a weird name. It's not got a fun name to pronounce if I remember rightly. There's no.
I'm talking more. No, I'm talking less about sex-based puns and more like, is it a 20,000 seater with 3,000 people there? Because that will drastically limit how much fun they can have with the stip if they have to sort of, well, don't go over there.
Yeah,
there's 12,000 empty seats.
I want to go down that road.
Yeah, I think they're saving their big stuff for lick your ass, obviously. Okay. So you don't want to overshadow that in the week preceding it. They are at the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria.
Sounds nice and small.
2,248 tickets distributed, set up for 2,694. Arena capacity 12,000.
Hey, they could do that big
big Carrying Cross there. Right?
Do that big massive curtain.
Yeah.
With like the 2-inch ramp.
I love the tiny, I like the tiny aisle.
I like the 2-inch ramp.
It's Kenny Omega. I was already in the ring.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah,
You've
love
got
it.
You've got to beat. It's weird. You probably kind of have to beat. You have to pin Mox.
Yeah.
You have to pin Mox.
At
last.
Yeah. It's Triple H this one, isn't it? Because he's winning.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because you can't really. Yeah, he's winning. We'll get to that on Friday. Spoiler alert. I don't think you should pin Marina Shafir.
No.
You could at least have her go up against Toni Storm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Point.
I just think the vibe will be spot on. Like the graphic last week popped me. I was like, brilliant. That's exactly what you do. Yeah. And they don't do a lot of mixed tags, and they don't ever like this. It does elevate genuinely the whole women's division when you mix them into the matches like this. Remember when we used to call for, I feel like a million years ago now, but when there was a bit of excitement around the Blackpool Combat Club, and it was wouldn't Serena D be class with them? And it would just never have entered their thoughts to just think, we should include a woman in this. And then as a result,
we start landing with best friends. So it did enter their thoughts.
There's exceptions and there's ways in which it's worked, but too often with all the stables, you think, this could have overlapped with the women's division. They just never get there. It's the perfect way to do it. They have built this constant, there's always Willow Nightingale to offset the Marina Shafir interference. It's not like it isn't earned as well.
Yeah.
Willow's a plunder god as well.
Yeah.
Willow's a plunder god.
Yeah.
There's just loads to love about it. Willow will not get the rub strictly from being in this match, but her being so aligned with Swerve Strickland is good for her. And whatever, it's a program that doesn't need a belt. I think the atmosphere will be amazing. There's a real joyful year 2000 WWE quality to this, especially ahead of the pay-per-view where they're having the singles
You and the
match.
Fed.
I know. You always got to lean on your best examples. Copy the best homework. That's what I say.
Well, sticking with the Death Riders, let's talk quickly about Cope and
compared to WWE. So.
I don't know. I preferred your China comparison myself, mate. Where does she work? Huh?
Let's talk Cope versus Claudio, because if Cope wins that match...
Yeah, they've got a real strong chance of dethroning the Death Riders,
Is there going to be sort of involvement? Obviously,
Just do Cash versus Pac, bro. That's going to be the best part of the trios.
Obviously, that little twat Wheeler Ute is probably going to involve himself in this match. And maybe Dax gets involved, and there's a bit of between him and
many
Cope.
boring wrestlers in WWE that you never give this treatment to.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Miz, Jimmy Uso.
Miz has got a hot wife, mate, so... Cope versus Claudio, Sid.
Yeah, I can't be...
think Miz has done. Miz has had a glittering career. I'll tell you about it later. He's done so much stuff.
Hang on.
Edge likes a monkey flip, doesn't he?
And
And Claudio's going to land on his feet, and I think Edge is going to do it, and Cope's going to do a face. That's going to give me the ick. Yeah, that sort of
big old bug eyes.
bug eyes. I cannot
Mr. Vane.
I cannot be arsed for this. You know what the worst thing is? If you look at, they could announce more matches, and we are, usual caveat, recording this 12 hours before the show, UK time, so we could get some more graphic drops as the date unfolds. I got a feeling that this is going to go about 17 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Few matches announced. It's a go home. We don't really want to do too many matches, and it's Cope. He's got the political influence, and it's nah, you got to go long. That will come up. It's going to go long. It's going to be pretty drab. And look, Claudio, whatever his name is, really good wrestler, really exciting wrestler. Can verge on dull for me at times, but we've done this before to incredibly tedious results. The last time Cope had a match against a really explosive, conditionally great wrestler who's in the Death Riders pack, and oh my god, it's just I in the process I invented a new surgery, and that was a phone graft. Because I was on that thing, I was I've got to watch this for work. Oh God, put the phone down. I was like, God, this is so rubbish. This, so if this is I will say this about Cope. We had a match against Big Bill on Collision where I'm that's disappointingly very good, because my agenda. You know what? Hold my hands up. I'll happily abandon an agenda and won't go, it's rubbish actually, even if it's good. So he's capable of doing these like slow burn matches that are the old cliche of, makes the big spots all the more meaningful because he's got that veteran craft. It worked against Big Bill, did no work against Pac. Really, I think Cope's very boring, and I expect this match to be very boring. And I think, feeling Cope wins. Crazy thought.
Leaning on the Big Bill example, and I get why, I would point to have a little bit more optimism because the prospect of 70 minutes bores me, scares me, if anything. But
oh man, Cope gives me the creep.
Edge and Sheamus on that last SmackDown match that Edge had, that was a really good bit of business. And I know
he's got it in him.
Yeah, and Sheamus and Cesaro worked as a tag team because you wouldn't have thought that their styles could like be meshed in such a way that they've got like more similarities than you think. You don't consider Sheamus this like all-rounder muscle guy in the same way you don't consider Claudio simply a power guy. And I was like, they overlap more as workers than you would think. And then Edge kind of figuring that out against Sheamus was genuinely one of the best things I think he did in WWE. This idea that like, you'd never beat me, I think was the one story they had because he was just too powerful. Sheamus had a bit of everything when Edge was kind of on the downswing of his career, and that's how they weave that. And it's now I'm even more experienced and stronger and all that. And Edge figured him out, and those are often some of the best Edge moments, aren't they? That's the Copeland's got a brain for this.
When he's more intelligent than hard, and yet he parades around like a tough guy.
Yeah, like the idiot, the guy with the brain who like can frustrate the Undertaker of all people. He approached genius in like fleeting moments. You know, the guy credited with putting so many of the TLC matches together with like him and Matt Hardy and Bubba Ray, I think it was. But like he was so much of the connective tissue with him. That's still there. But
that's the thing. That should be his persona.
Action hero.
That should be his persona, not Jack Reacher.
Will Ospreay is back tonight. Obviously, last time we saw him, he was declaring for the Owen Hart Cup. There is Will Ospreay, Hangman Page, Switchblade Jay Watt confirmed on the men's side of things. On the women's, it's obviously where am I message? Mercedes.
Money.
Athena, Billy Starks, Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, and Chris Statlander. 6 of the 8 to be confirmed. Apparently, the brackets will be revealed tonight. I've just read there.
Great field.
That's a great field. Given the fact that the brackets are going to be revealed, maybe they are going to do some matches at Dynasty in the opening round. Not all, but some. I expect Page and Ospreay to be on opposite sides of the bracket. If you must do that on free TV, or maybe they'll do it at Double or Nothing. Who knows? But
Double or Nothing, that bitch.
Yeah, they might Double or Nothing that bitch.
Everyone's saying it.
That's it.
Everyone says that. That's what I would do. Certainly, that's what I would do. That is the big match that AEW simply hasn't done, other than Ospreay. Now that'd be the last big wrestler that Ospreay hasn't wrestled yet. Mox and Hangman. So he's done MJF, Swerve, Kenny.
He's not wrestled Mox, is he? Yeah.
I mean, in New Japan, but we don't talk about that very much. I would. Out of the 3, maybe let's get a total left field choice. Wasn't Shingo in it last year?
Was he?
Because he worked Danielson as part of that. Maybe was it Forbidden Dow?
I'm not just saying this because it's me, but like, is there to lose in the first round? Could Jeff Jarrett be thrown in? No, that abandoned retirement storyline, and like he was so good with this last year. They've got inbuilt kind of he wants this.
Yeah,
you know,
people will remember Owen Cup Jarrett over misogynist.
Exactly, yeah.
Waste of time, Jeff Jarrett.
Can you remember the men's lineup for last year's?
Pac.
Oh, hang on.
Bingo!
Pac Danielson.
Bingo!
Jarrett.
Bingo!
Hanger.
Bingo!
Shingo.
Bingo!
Jay White.
Bingo Takagi.
Mecha Shingo.
2 more. 2 Mao.
You've got all the semi-finalists from last year.
Is there any like collision ass wrestlers in it just to lose? Adam Cole wasn't healthy, was he?
No. Not Garcia.
No.
Commander.
No.
Loves a job done.
Was a masked wrestler in there, though?
Ray Phoenix.
Bingo!
Jay Watt.
I remember that now.
Got one left.
Better
One
on,
left.
Better on paper.
One left who's also wrestling on tonight's Dynamite.
Ah.
Not Dax.
No.
Can't get away from a singles match even though he's a tag team wrestler.
Cope.
No, close. Yeah, you're on. I think so.
You've been on the whole time, buddy.
Oh, you're not. Someone's unplugged it. Right. Yeah.
Your little finger
Your
just
mic's
touched it.
on, but we can't hear you.
Excellent.
Your mic is on. We can hear you. You're quiet.
So close to Cope. Christian?
No, it's in very close to Cope on tonight's show.
He was champion, wasn't
Claudio.
Bingo!
That was last year's. So, do you want to add some more wrestlers from the roster?
he? Oh, yeah.
For this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're blatantly setting this up as like a kind of elite field.
Yeah.
8 guys that win the title, right? So,
Yeah.
like, who we're pitching here are ultimately kind of the next in line. Remember that graphic? With
How about one and done to not drag things out?
Yeah. You get one skip because then you can do back and forth.
That's kind of the opposite of what Sid just said.
Yeah, no, but you need to add 5 more wrestlers, and there's 2 of you. That doesn't work.
Right. Someone can have more goals. I'll have more goals. Come on.
Sid can have
Okay, there you go then.
Sudden
Give it
death,
to him.
picks. He's right.
Okay, Sidge, whenever you're ready.
Stop.
1 to 15.
It's 3.
You did it, Dax. Hamflett.
Stop.
1 to 15.
1.
Kota Ibushi.
All right.
It's got to come back sometime.
Yeah. He doesn't have to. Nobody has to do anything.
Nobody has to do anything.
That's the thing.
That's my,
That's the- remember that
my bit
sometimes.
as well. That's a
Sidge.
Is that your bit?
5.
Is that legit?
Stop 5.
I always say that.
Yeah.
It's Alex Abrantes. Yeah. It's Alex.
God, they've got some on this roster, aren't they? Hell,
They have the Miz and Jimmy Uso, mate. So
They invented a ripcord clothesline on SmackDown. We can show them some respect.
Oh my God, you see the Rainmaker here? Oh my God.
Is that what they're calling it?
Oh my God.
Why is it called the Rainmaker?
We need 3 more.
Three more.
2 more.
okay.
We don't need. We don't need.
Don't need anything. Nobody needs anything really.
Hamflett, you're
It could be
final.
a boat.
Food, water, shelter.
Joining Dax.
Food, water, shelter. Yeah.
Joining Dax, Kota Ibushi, and Alex Abrahantes.
Stop.
Oh, hang on, sorry, I wasn't scrolling there.
Stop.
Okay, 1 to 15.
1.
The Big Show.
Get him in there. Well, that's spoiler that. Yeah.
After he wins the match.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Does that mean Big Show and Billy Gunn is a
It's a
first round
qualifier.
match at Dynasty
No,
Dynasty?
it's a qualifier tonight.
Qualifier tonight.
Yeah.
Big Show gets
Winner-
an
winner-
Right, okay,
that.
let's take it
Got
seriously.
one left.
Okay, yeah.
I reckon if they're doing Dynasty Dynasty stuff, own stuff for Dynasty Dynasty, Ospreay Jay White is one they haven't done. And
He's
it's,
scrolling the roster, man. He
Yeah,
wants one more
he's
wrestler.
got
He's
one
not
more
interested
to
in this. I saw him glaze over there.
I do have a different and more potentially inspiring idea
Okay.
than Jay White. Do the roster, mate.
Doing it, yeah.
Is it me or...
It's you.
Yeah, stop.
1 to 15.
14.
Tony Neeson is Tony Neese. There you go.
Why not? Why the hell not, bro?
Job done. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, so Ospreay Jay White seems the more realistic. People will like this on the pay-per-view. Guaranteed 4.5 floor. Well, guaranteed 4 and 3. It's Dave in it. Love you, Dave, but come on. Let's go back in time. Watch Omega Ricardo 1 and realize, oh, hang on, that's at least 4 stars better than anything I'm given for right now. So let's just wind it in a little bit. My idea, which I said on the Q&A, and I'll regurgitate here, is I would do Ospreay hologram at the pay-per-view.
Love that. I like that.
Hologram has got this weird kind of... He's undefeated, so I guess it means something if he loses. So you can market it as, Ospreay, like, the best worker in the world versus a guy who's this total thriller who hasn't lost. And hey, it might be a big deal when he eventually does. And he's not Goldberg. You've got to do it at some point.
Yeah.
Market that first loss for a reason. Additionally, Ospreay has reached this pinnacle of brilliance that, I mean, I don't think he's almost incapable of botching at this point. This could be the closest thing AEW has right now to that absolutely unbelievable Kenny Vikingo match, where you take an extremely raw but alien athlete who's capable of doing these things you cannot scarcely believe. Pair him. I mean, I love Beast Mortos. Great base, not necessarily like a master craftsman at the level of an Omega or an Ospreay. You have Ospreay guide him through the Ospreay match, but elevated by this, I cannot believe what this guy's capable of. Athleticism, and you could have something truly, truly special with some stakes and a little bit of importance given the undefeated streak. I would do that. It's a bit of fun. I think Dynasty, in terms of venue, lineup, scheduling, is the B-level pay-per-view for AEW, right? Why not do something unusual?
Yeah.
That's what I would do anyway.
What was Ospreay doing last year? Dynasty? Is that Dynasty?
Only the one of the best matches of all time.
Really
only one of the best matches of all time.
You really enjoyed that, yeah.
Shut up, man.
It was very good.
Shut up, man. It was seminal.
Where's that stand as like one of your? Because I really liked it, and you were like, nah, it's like all timer stuff. Is that
all timer.
One of your like top 5 right out of the gate? That one.
Maybe a top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of the best things you'll ever see in your life. That duel.
Yeah.
The stalemate. It's like, how can you watch SmackDown with a happy little face and then just go, oh, it's very good? Like, you're weird. You're a weird guy.
Yeah.
Just a weird dude, man.
What do you think will be the latest developments with MJF?
That bracket.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Look like the Riz.
I was thinking about
Look like the Adriana Rizzo there. Like Silvio.
About Big Jim. Sent us back like he's really funny in it at the moment. And then he gets bloodied up and you're like, oh, that clown can do everything.
He can't
Other than wrestle.
The wrestler can't wrestle.
It was, I don't know. I have a thing with Danielson, you know. I don't love him as much as you, and that's okay.
Said he was better than Brett after all, You did. No, you did. Go back and watch the tape.
I felt it then, and then, it goes away. Like, it's never as deep with Danielson unless it depends on who he's wrestling. I love him a lot. Absolutely the right amount.
Not enough.
Not enough, yeah. Like, it's always, the Kenny Omega match is where it's like, oh, Danielson. Kofi at WrestleMania. There he is. Wanted it so much because it was WrestleMania 30 and he was the guy, you know. Cena at SummerSlam. It's always about like the other guy he's with that makes it magic, and because I wasn't as much Ospreay as I am now.
You're a weird guy.
I wonder which one I prefer. Genuinely, sitting watching them back to back. Cena at SummerSlam or Ospreay at Dynasty. I think it's an interesting conversation. I think both would be interesting candidates for best match ever.
I'm not doing John Cena on best match ever. There's absolutely don't tease it. Don't do a pregnant pause.
Cena season 3, we're going to call Cena 3 because it's just an entire run of Cena matches. He's like kind of farewell. He'll be coming to the end of his career by then.
No, not happening. Money in the Bank is the only possibility.
Otherwise, you can't see him on best match ever. Anything?
What's the latest with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, do you think?
Don't know, and I like that.
Yeah, don't know, and I like it.
They've done a great job of kind of maintaining that feeling every week.
Does he interfere at... The thing is, if they're going to do the thing where he proves his worth to Bobby Lashley at Dynasty against Big Bill and Brian Keith, but the Hurt Syndicate shouldn't need help even at this stage. Yeah. So it's a strange one, but again, I don't know what it looks like. I know that I want to watch it.
Well, I suppose you could do it and Bobby say, we didn't need any help.
We didn't need any help, and then he can prolong it.
Yeah.
Does he join still? Like, I think I still can't decide if they actually go with it and he joins and you have a few months of them as a group and making it work. And even if there's a little bit of unease with it, with him and Bobby Lashley especially. It's like, oh, this is actually working pretty well. Everything's fine in the Hurt Syndicate, and in reality, he's poison. MJF is absolute poison. Or is it all just an immediate foo-ed, and that's revealed, say, like in the next couple of weeks, that no, he's going to fight Bobby Lashley, and he's going to fight him pretty soon. You're going to double or nothing that bitch. Like, and they get to that. I love that I can't quite figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're only ever giving you, they're not even really giving you crumbs. They're giving you, it's so inspired this. They're giving you developments and no clues.
Yeah.
Like the story, it's not just the WWE thing where it's like premise week one, premise, payoff. They're actually moving it along. And yet you cannot.
AEW's getting better at plotting.
Yeah.
In WWE at the minute, they're kind of just talking at each other.
Mm-hmm. And plotting's the best bit. As I've been saying for years. What makes you feel the most? Good old Plotsky.
I would like MJF to basically be like, at least pretending to be totally fine that he got completely mugged off by Bobby.
He has lost a. That's a title. Right, that one down.
Sorry, Wilbourn, you were
losing
saying
the plot.
the Triple H life.
The Triple H story.
Yeah.
No, MJF pretending to be totally fine with the fact that Bobby Lashley ripped up the card and told him to piss off last week.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Oh, I'm fine, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he was kind of weirdly like, hey, I'll leave you guys to it.
Yeah.
Like, I want that again, him to be like, hey, you take your time. I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'll just wait. Like, he's not the guy who's going to be waiting around for someone to decide whether or not they like him.
Yeah.
But I really hope you, because I think it's fascinating.
I'd love to
It's
see
far
it.
more interesting. I know we're going to get it down the line, but it's far more interesting for it to be MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, Michael Jacob Friedman. What? What's
All of them.
that look like?
All of them
like,
decked
what,
out
like-
in the grey Burberry suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for a week. It'd be pretty fun, wouldn't it, before they
good stuff.
dissolve it or whatever. You
Like
know?
a
All
unit of
scarves.
killers and then like a sniveling coward.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I'm
really
I'm
interesting.
fascinated by this, and I can't really. This is the best thing, though. It's like, where are we going?
The final match to talk about ahead of tonight's AEW Dynamite is Timeless Toni Storm basically out for revenge. I didn't see Collision this week, but the one thing I did see was her getting her head kicked off by Penelope Ford to set up this match tonight. Obviously, Megan Bain will be in Penelope Ford's corner, but
I mean, if Toni Storm beats Penelope Ford, that might spell bad news for Megan Bain at Dynasty. Look, God, everything Toni Storm does is entertaining, even if it's for one line or one move. She has got that star quality where she's completely over, so skilled, so magnetic that I will not be able to not watch her on screen. This is Tony Khan spreadsheet booking out the ace, and Penelope Ford joins that rich history of doing jobs again. Hasn't that been your job for 7 weeks? Then she'll disappear. Bobby Fish, Brian Cage, Jay Lethal, Penelope Ford, Sky Blue, as Murray was talking about downstairs, was on that. Like, he just loves having the same jobber in a 6 week span. It's one of his more annoying quirks, because I can't possibly get excited about this, even though the star of the show pretty much, or one of the stars of the show, is in a segment. Like, there's no drama, there's no jeopardy. It's very, very, like, obligatory spreadsheet. Oh, this is what we do here in AEW. You beat the underling, and then, hey, if you beat the underling who's associated with the star, you just might beat that star. And I'm like, what a waste of time. I mean, it'll probably be good or entertaining.
Yeah.
Toni Storm's involved. She can't not be. She's in that groove right now, but impossible to get excited about.
Aye. Just be all right in the night this one, wouldn't it?
I have a fun promo building it up earlier on in the show. She'll say something about like Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes.
Nice little line there.
Yeah. And Penelope Ford does this spot where she licks people. It's like, heat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I thought I had it queued up there.
What queued up?
The noise, the lick noise.
What, we'll just do it out loud.
Sorry, do you want that on there? Yeah, no worries. You got it? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sorry, continue.
Toni Storm is the old whore.
Misophonia. Might have to like switch off, listen to that.
Oh,
like,
can we have yours? Can we have the...
That's, yeah.
Skip 15 seconds on Spotify if you don't like any ASMR content. I'm not doing a lick, I'm doing this. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Right, okay. Nom 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 nom. Anyway, so I think because Toni Storm is the old whore that you love to adore, she likes orgies and all the rest of it. She might just, do it back, and then
she loves a sex, doesn't she? Is it just me, or is that like a little bit like kind of? I don't know. Like,
I don't like it in the context of a wrestling match. When she did it to Saraya, Moxley's guilty of this, like kissing someone without their consent in a wrestling match. I'm not a fan of it.
I agree. It's it's fine. Gets like good pops and.
I'm not an idiot. I know that both wrestlers have agreed to this when they chat friendly backstage, but not for me.
What you're reflecting in, isn't it?
But Tony's got her licked in the match. Do you see a Megan Bain post-match attack, perhaps, or?
Yeah.
Just double checking. But Sidge, as you mentioned, there is 1.5.
Yep, not 2
women's matches on this show, which means we have to get to the name of the game. But before that, we have to get to the aim of the game.
The aim of the game is to identify to the exact second when you hear, our minute and second actually, when you hear the first note for the first theme for the first woman to come out and wrestle the only women's match on Dynamite. The idea being that it often falls in that 1 hour 20 to 1 hour 25 minute range more often than not. And you're thinking, why is it always there? And why is there only one women's match? What am I noticing right now? I'm noticing a little bit of misogyny, quite frankly. That's at least how I interpret it, cynically or otherwise. And I'm thinking, here's what I think is going on. Either Tony Khan and or Warner, TBS, are thinking, right, we've got to put women, bloody birds on the show, right? Otherwise the wokes will kick off. But here's the thing, we kind of don't want to, right? And even though I suspect, certainly at this point, that AEW's audience would rather see Willow, Nightingale, Athena, Mercedes, Toni Storm, Aminata, Hater over Jericho, Mox, Dax, Scope. Yeah, start. List.
I was going to say Stacks.
List goes on. You interrupt my flow, bro.
Sorry.
Than, a lot of these incredibly dreary blokes that you get. But I'm thinking that they're thinking, gotta put one. When do we do it? To put it on early, they'll just turn off. Why don't we do it right before the main event? The psychology being that sunk cost fallacy of, well, we've already invested so much bloody time in the show that we'll put it with the women because the main event's really close. And I think that's what they've been doing. I think that's the dirty, naughty little game that they have been playing for nearly 6 years, right? It's a joke. I hate the joke. We play this game every week to try and put an end to the joke, to manifest it, right? And you're thinking, that's all well and good, Sidge, but he drifted off a minute ago, didn't I? Could you just jingle-ize this for me? Could you jingle-ize the thing that you attempt to bold, italicize, and underline? Sure can, buddy. Don't worry, guys. When the women come out to play, the main event ain't too far away. And that's the aim of the game. And the name of the game is drums. Wait, is that okay? I was trying to get my notes, my lyrics, my sheet music up.
Oh yeah.
Book that chick. Give the man a slip. Bought a Mox's crack. Spike is boring back. When a good match comes along, you must book it. Let them go a little long. You must book it. Death Riders all went wrong. You must book it. Now book it. In the shade. Shape it up. Get straight. Go forward. Move ahead. Try to detect it. It's a little late to book it. Book it good. If you guessed that I landed on Book That Chick and just decided anything afterwards will do, you are correct. You are correcto. Correctamundo. Book that chick. Give the man a slam.
No,
No.
I was laughing too much. That was brilliant. It gets better every week. This.
Nope.
I'll see you around the rest of the day.
Book that chick. Give John Mox a slam.
Do you remember the thing now when you rewrite a song that the next time you hear it, you hear your own lyrics?
Yeah, true. It's totally finished. Pivo. Pivot.
Pivo. Banging. You know the rules. Right. Where are we? Shout out as always to the Panda Blair.
Play the game.
To the Panda Blair himself, Adam Blair, at Adam Wilton 4, and Jose Palomares at the Ho 11, the guys who always take care of the data. Thanks for this sort of thing. Great to see Adam Blair in London.
Yeah.
Lovely. Nice little pint with him before, what was it, SmackDown? I don't know what day I'm on it, to be honest, right now. But yes, he's been keeping up with it. I won last week again. 5 correct guesses for the year for me, 2 for Hamflett. None so far for Sidgwick, but still plenty of time to recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me, obviously.
You're going 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
Right. Main event again, why not? They've done the last 2 weeks.
Woo.
Bit of fun, innit? Like, 1, 41.
Dead.
In 20 seconds.
Oh.
Simplified cock and the flash will fly. Bring the boom. I don't know, man. So I think the main event will be the tornado tag.
Yeah.
Oh God. You think you know me? No. You know me. That'll probably open.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. Jesus Christ, what a tone setter that is. I'm thinking Toni Storm, big star, not getting the main event. I reckon she's going to get the top of the hour. No hours. Actually, no. 1 hour, 17:11. It's those bands.
That's stuck in my head already. I love it.
No.
Well,
That's good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
let us know your thoughts ahead of AEW Dynamite in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow. I'll just do the 3 of us because I've not got his mic plugged in. All 3 of us, you can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas. Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. NXT review coming your way later on today. We'll be back to review Dynamite. But for now, it's been the Dynamite preview. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.